I've been able to, what's it called? Do online tutoring. So that's good. That's like a casual job. So it's great that I've had this sort of flexibility. But other than that, not much has been going on. Yeah, just this and
Okay,
that.
so just keep yourself busy, yeah?
Yeah. One of these ones. How about you, Ned?
Yeah, so as Muddy said, there aren't that many cases in Victoria compared to the rest of the world. I think each day in Victoria only, we're doing about 30,000 tests, and only around 300 to 400 are coming up positive. But to make sure that it doesn't get any worse, yeah, we're all in lockdown, not allowed to leave the house unless it's for exercise or work or buying food. It's compulsory now to wear masks as well. All of my so I study literature and art history at university, and all of my classes are now online. So for my tutorials, I'll have Zoom meetings like this, and then watch the recorded lectures online as well. I think all of the high school students as well and the primary school students are at home, apart from students in year 11 and 12 who are completing their final years. So the older students are still allowed to go to school, but the rest of the school children all have to be at home as well. It's I don't know. It's a bit crazy in Melbourne, not being able to leave the house, but it's good to be safe, I think, and yeah, everyone's sort of taking it fairly seriously.
Yeah, that's good. One thing I want to add, it's not relevant, but Ammar's back, so I think if you
Welcome.
want to unmute him or something.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, did he leave? No, I
No,
don't
No,
know.
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Oh, you're still here.
Welcome,
Ammar,
Ammar.
let's see your beautiful face. Where did you go?
Oh, I forgot. Come here.
Yeah, this is Ammar. He's my friend. We all go to Melbourne Uni. Ammar, Ned, and me.
Yes.
Mehdi. Okay. Ammar, he's Ned. Ned is from Melbourne too. And Ned, he's Ammar.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So we
Nice to
have
meet you
three bule, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so the last time that Ned was saying is about the lockdown situations, yeah? So do you know like about the future until when? It's just like the end of this year, or maybe you're still not sure because the situation is kind of getting worse, or you have predictions from the governments maybe that yeah.
At the moment, the lockdown was for 6 weeks, and at the end of the 6-week period, the government would review the changes in cases. At the moment, we've been in lockdown for about 2 weeks, and it hasn't really made that much of a big difference. We're still getting sort of a high number of cases, and so if that continues, then the lockdown will be extended. But if we're able to contain the spread of the virus and the numbers start going down again, then we might be able to leave the house. But I think for a while yet, we'll be in lockdown.
All right. So I've heard like before this, time like 1 month ago or 2 months ago, Melbourne was getting better, but I don't know, like last month's getting worse again. So do you know what is the main reasons why it's getting worse again after sometimes it was better? Who want to answer? You know the question.
Ammar, you go answer.
I can answer that. Yeah.
Oh, sure, Ammar.
Straight after the lockdown, ended, it went from like stage 4, I think, to like stage 2 or something. But people treated it as if there was no lockdown at all. So you could see people just basically everywhere, even though there were still like some guidelines for social distancing, people just didn't respect them in the least. So for example, you'd see supermarkets were more full after the lockdown than before quarantine. So like it's sort of everyone straight went outside right after lockdown. Like it was just like
They were
it
buying
was
toilet.
places, yeah, exactly. No, not just toilet paper, but like places were more crowded. Places were more crowded after quarantine than they were before quarantine, just because people missed like being outside in like crowds of people.
Yeah, and also because it's winter now, like we were expecting to have a second wave. So that's why, like, as in, because we were kind of like, I think the northern hemisphere, most of them were transitioning from winter to summer, so viruses don't spread as easily. But us, it was the opposite way around. But yeah, Andy, tell us about Indonesia. How was it? Like, how was lockdown there and all this and that? Let me interview you for a second. And you too.
Ned, can you tell them? Ned, I think you update, yeah. You keep updating the information about Indonesia. What do you know about Indonesia, Ned? The current situation in Indonesia.
I'm not too sure about the current situation in Indonesia. I've spoken to a couple of friends who say that it's very much, some people take it very seriously and other people are quite relaxed. But I think I sort of read the Jakarta Post a fair bit, and it doesn't look like the numbers are too crazy at the moment in Indonesia. But I'm not really sure. I don't know.
Yeah, it's true. So my deal, like every Friday we are still going to the mosque and we don't even wear mask. It's like just normal things. When in Australia, Mahdi Sultan, do you still do like praying in the mosque or just at home?
Oh, at home.
At home.
Places congregations and places of worship are all they're all banned. But there was a really interesting comment right now, which is there's like someone just said there's no like mass testing in Indonesia, so it could be that everyone does already have corona but no one knows. It's just like in Australia, like North Melbourne. My brother told me over there it seemed like there were absolutely no cases, but then once we started testing once we started more rapid testing, my brother told me like it turns out everyone in my neighborhood has corona. Like they found like 30 people or something. Like it's not everyone, but they found a large amount of people just because they made testing more accessible. So it could just be that you don't have enough data to know that there's corona right there. But it also could be Indonesia. It's really hard to get sick in general. Like transfer of the, because it's so humid there. So yeah,
and we are strong.
No one ever sneezes or coughs because unless you turn on the AC.
True. So yeah, maybe because we don't have enough facility to get tests. So maybe like many people got corona already, but they get cured by themselves after some times. So yeah, maybe it's the same. So you guys, have you experienced feeling like maybe you got corona, but you get cured, or maybe 1 week I got very unwell? No, like in the past, like I got very unwell, and then maybe that was corona, but now I'm getting better. Have you experienced those feelings, or just no?
No.
From net, maybe.
No.
No, yeah,
really.
all good, yeah.
Yeah.
Who got tested out of us four?
Amr, did you get tested?
Yeah, they gave us the like home test ones. Like you do it yourself and then you send it back.
Yeah. And what were the results?
Negative.
Like,
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
You were coughing a lot the last time I saw you, Ammar.
When was the last time you saw me?
when Mahdi?
This was before lockdown, so you know I was.
Oh, okay.
You know, I'm keeping it all good. I'm a whatever.
Okay. Okay, so maybe yeah, just like that said about Corona or current situation in Melbourne. But yeah, I hope everyone is getting in good condition. Yeah. Okay. Now talking about the studying in Australia. So you are still students, and then uh, maybe it's summer break. Yeah. Is it summer or winter? Winter break.
Winter.
Winter break. So next month, yeah, next month you're gonna start uni, and of course it's gonna be online. So maybe you can tell us the system, or maybe everything, or maybe the participants or new students from other countries, since maybe they have to pay the same amount of money, but they just do online. Are there any new students coming to Melbourne University, or just they skip it for next year since it's Corona? What do you know about that? Maybe who's gonna answer this question, or you can assume, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too sure the exact numbers, but I know that all universities in Australia are very worried about losing a lot of money because not nearly as many international students will enroll for the next couple of years, and at the moment it doesn't whether you're an international student or a sort of Australian student, there are no fee deductions, so you're still paying the same price even though it's online. I think so. Yeah.
Got it. So maybe it's reducing, yeah, the international students who want to apply to Australian university, because they cannot come to Australia, right? They close the border.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah. And I think
Okay.
it's also quite hard. A lot of international students aren't allowed to get on the sort of job keeper or job seeker, and they're two government programs that if you sort of lose your job in Australia because of coronavirus, you might be able to get on a sort of government payment each week. But a lot of international students, well, they couldn't do that because of their visas, and so it was very difficult for international students, and I think it still is in terms of being able to pay rent and buy food and stuff if they can't work and they can't be paid by the government.
All right. Thank you so much, Nat. And about Amar and Mahdi, do you have some information related to international students or university classes?
Yeah, they've all shifted, like Nid said, online. And as an international student, you'd be living here and you'd be paying rent, food, and for the classes with no source of income in terms of work, most likely, because yeah, a lot of people have been laid off, and the government won't support you, and the fees aren't changing. And I think the scholarships that the unis do offer, I think Melbourne Uni at least, there's some, but it's definitely not enough, at least as a long-term solution. So yeah, that would probably deter a lot of international students from studying here in the near future, like, yeah, until all this is over at least.
you can study abroad though. Like you can.
Yeah, you can study.
You can stay.
Yeah, some people are
for
doing
example,
that.
if you're in Indonesia, you can stay in Indonesia and study, and then once Corona is over,
Yeah,
then
because it's all online anyway.
yeah, because otherwise you
come
just
here-
be yeah.
Yeah,
But maybe they will
Otherwise
think
you
that
just
it's unfair because they have to pay, but they don't get the facilities like physically.
yeah.
Oh, no
That's
one-
a lot of people are complaining about that. Like
no,
they
but no one
say,
gets the facilities here either. The only problem is if they stay past the 6 weeks, let's say like we get past these 6 weeks and we've eliminated Corona in Melbourne or something.
No,
And
that's
yeah, like it's not we're not gonna eliminate Corona, but I'm saying like if for example we've contained it to a point where uni students can go to university, then it's going to be a real problem that because for example you're Indonesian, you had to stay in Indonesia and study overseas, and now once the students in Melbourne, their the facilities are open for them again, now it's gonna be a problem. But otherwise, you wouldn't want to go to Melbourne and like spend money on like rent and food and all of these sort of things in Melbourne. And I don't think the borders are even closed. I'm pretty sure, except for actual citizens, except for like citizens and permanent residents, like
Alright.
full Australian. Yeah.
So for
Yeah. So I don't think student visa will let you enter Australia.
and Australian too, they cannot go outside from Australia. Yeah, you have to be staying there in Australia.
I think
For
so.
Australia.
Yeah, you can only come back, but you can't leave unless you're a citizen of that country, and that country is accepting you in.
I see.
So, for example,
talking about
if you had like
yes,
a dual
please.
citizenship between like if you were Kenyan and Australian, you'd be allowed to go to Kenya.
I see.
Yeah.
All right, very good informations. And then talking about your like tuition fee for Australian students, do you got like deductions or still paying the same for this semester or the next semester?
Yeah, we're still paying the same, but we're getting stimulus packages like for youth allowance. You get extra money, you get extra income. If you had a job and you can't go to the job anymore because of Corona, you get JobKeeper. So these sort of things, like they're not lowering the fees of university, but they're increasing they're substituting the income that you would have lost because of the because of the virus. Yeah.
Even when you are students, you still got that thing.
Yeah.
Wow. So your country is so rich. You're so lucky, yeah. I wish, yeah, I'm Australian, but okay. Anyway, but talking about your situations right now, are you okay or did you get affected by Corona? Like maybe, many Australian, they lost their job, and can you survive? I know you are still students, but I know some students, they have part-time job, and maybe you can share your experience about your part-time job. Is it getting hard or it's getting better because you are teaching online? Maybe it's benefits for you. So please, who is answering first? Okay,
yeah.
please. Maybe Mahdi.
Right.
You told me you are a teacher.
Yeah, tutor. So yeah, in terms of work, it's transitioned to online. So like thankfully, like I have work because I tutor, we can use like online facilities. It's not like, let's say if I worked as a painter or something and I'm no longer able to work. With teaching, I can just teach online. So that's good. But yeah, I don't think everyone else or many people are as lucky as me. So a lot of people, like I know a friend, he works as, I think, construction manager, like at a construction site. So he's been laid off work because of the current situation. But yeah, there are also, if you're very I guess eager, you can and you keep looking for work. There are some jobs that have popped up and they're just recruiting. Like for example, I live in the northern suburbs, and those are that's where there's a lot of recent coronavirus outbreaks. So they opened clinics for like mass testing, and they advertise the job, and it's easier. Like the requirements weren't that high. Like you didn't need to have graduated and all that. You can just apply. So there are some opportunities, but you have to like be actively looking for them.
I see.
Yeah.
So it's not that hard there for
It's it's
Australia.
competitive, but
It's com-
in terms of work, yeah, like having said that, a lot of people who've had jobs have been laid off work. Like they can't work anymore.
I
Yeah.
see. So just like some areas that maybe
Yeah, like specific
you know
niche areas, like
needs
gyms,
more
MMA
people.
places.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Just some areas. So
Yeah.
if you're lucky, or yeah,
Yeah. So you are lucky. Wow.
Yeah,
I
I
think
guess.
I think I think construction even it wasn't stopped at stage 3. I think only stage
Yeah.
4 they stopped like all
it
construction
wasn't
or
stuff,
renovation.
but like you know how things are interlinked. Like, let's say you have a construction business, or you're selling. I know this guy. He sells like fabrics and stuff. Like he makes in bulk, but because the customers are buying less, because the economy's slowing, everyone's in their homes, less activity, so they have to lay off workers because they can't pay everyone. They're like, we can't pay you, even though it's just because we're not getting enough demand, and then you slowly get let off.
Can they
but I
put
guess-
them on JobKeeper?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they can. Yeah.
I see. And how about Nat?
Well, I work in hospitality in a cafe, and I lost my job at the start of Corona because when we went into stage 3 lockdowns, you're only allowed to take away food or coffee from restaurants, and so obviously there was restaurants weren't making as much money, and so had to fire a lot of staff, and that's one of the industries that's been quite hard hit by Corona. Making food, serving food,
I see.
that kind of thing.
Like restaurants. The same here.
Yeah.
Like even Pizza Hut now, they sell the pizza in the street using car.
Yeah.
But now, do you get the new one, or still waiting for the situations getting better?
Yeah, I'm still sort of waiting. I think it is quite difficult to get a job, but it's certainly not impossible. You just have to work hard and get a bit lucky, I think.
Got it. Or I can teach English in my school, like Sekolah Bahasa. this new school. No, I was joking. Okay, how about Amar? How about your experience, Amar?
Oh, I'm one of the lucky ones.
One of the luckiest one. Wow.
Amar, you didn't have a job to
Congratulations. Mashallah.
Yeah, I didn't know I had a job until I was selling it on JobKeeper. Because I was registered as a teacher's aide at a school, and then I only went once a week. And then this term I didn't even go, and then I'm on JobKeeper.
Mehdi. Don't laugh.
Yeah. All right, I'm sorry for laughing.
You're the luckiest one, Mehdi. Okay. All right. So yeah, we already talking about the current situations and studying in Melbourne University, and also about like experience in looking for jobs. Maybe still have around 30 minutes. This event's gonna be 1 hour only, yeah. So we have 30 minutes left, and I'll give opportunities for participants to ask questions, anything, yeah, to the speaker. So first of all, you have to mention your name and to whom you address the questions. Like for example, to Nat, Mehdi, Sultan, Amar, or to everyone. And then, yeah, you have to mention the questions. Okay, please, everyone, you can raise your hand, yeah, here. There's a menu to raise your hand if you want to ask questions to the speakers, please. Ada yang mau bertanya, teman-teman, silahkan. tentang Australia, university di Australia, or living in Australia, silakan. Or maybe if you are afraid, oh, Ulida, yes, please.
I want to ask question to Matt
Net,
from Victoria.
okay.
Well, I got a scholarship in Indonesia, but I want to continue my study, and it's my plan continue my study to S1 apa ya bang?
Bachelor degree.
Bachelor degree. So, how about the scholarship there? Do I have to have a TOEFL
Right.
test?
So, okay, thank you, Ulida. Did you get the questions, Net, or should I repeat the question?
Yeah, I think I got it.
Sure.
Just about scholarships for international students. Yeah, I'm not too sure about scholarships for international students, but I know there are a fair few out there. The best way to look into it would just be to search through the university's website, and if you look through every university's website, there'll definitely be some scholarships here and there, and universities are quite good. They usually have teachers who are not teachers, sorry, staff who are dedicated solely to scholarships, and they usually have numbers that you can ring and ask questions there. But most of it should be on the university's websites.
And maybe she was asking about the requirements like TOEFL or IELTS.
I'm not too sure about them. I'm sorry.
So maybe in general you need to have IELTS, yeah, like International English Test Certificate. Okay, is it partially or fully funded from the government or university?
I'm not too sure.
Just check the website, yeah. The best way is just to check the website. And Mehdi
Yeah,
and Amar, yeah, Net, do you want to add?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, and Mehdi and Amar, maybe you have more information about scholarship studying in bachelor degree at university in Australia.
Yeah, like Nid said, if you search up your uni, let's say you want to go to RMIT or Melbourne Uni, you search it up and with scholarships, and you can have a look at the list and the requirements. There are some academic scholarships, but there might be some ones that require like have different criteria. So yeah, you can find it there.
Amar?
They give scholarships for a lot of different criteria. I mean, everything's already been said, so I think I'd just be repeating.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, we have second questions. Fit Hanafi. Where is Fit Hanafi?
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Okay, my name is Hanapi, and I'm from West Java area. So I have a question for either Mahdi or Mr. Coleman, whoever can answer the question. Actually, I'm looking for the possibility to be in Australia, either for becoming a student or for getting a job part-timer over there. But at this moment, seems that is not possible, right? Okay, so
No.
yeah. Anybody wanna answer?
So what is the question?
To do what?
I don't think there is possibility for us to be a student or employee or working in Australia right now, right?
No, because even some workers who were already living in Australia with a work visa are being sent back because they can't keep them on JobKeeper, and they can't just live without the income either.
Okay. my last question. Just give us clue. How much money do we have to prepare if you want to study in Australia?
That's a good question. Yeah, that's a very good question. Just before I answer that, I think you said the question was about before the first one was about being employed in Australia and being a student. You can be a student, but the money depends on the course. So if, for example, if you're going to choose a master's course, it's going to cost much more, and different courses cost different thing. Like medicine or dentistry, it's, you know, it would cost way more than an undergraduate course. But typically for Melbourne Uni anyway, Andy can confirm this or correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's around 40,000 a year for an international student. Is that right, Andy? For undergrad?
Or undergrad, I'm not sure. I did master degree, but maybe yeah, around that number.
Masters was higher, right?
Master is higher, of course, yeah.
Yeah. So around like, that's like 40,000 a year kind of minimum for a bachelor's degree, for like a, let's say a typical science or arts, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. So 40,000, is that including cost of living over there, Mr. Andy?
As for 1 month, you need like at least like around $2,000 Australia.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Okay.
For everything like the rent and then having like just normal meals. But of course you can work too.
Yeah. Okay.
Having part-time job.
I see. So while we study over there, we also can work part time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
I did part-time job too.
I see. All right, guys. Thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Thank
very
you,
much.
Pak Hanafi.
Thank you.
All right. Next question, please. Or if you couldn't find any menu to raise your hand, you can type something, yeah? And I'll call your name. You can type like me or anything. Everyone, please.
Also, I want to add.
Okay, Jerry. Okay, Mighty.
Okay. Oh, I just wanted to say, you can ask questions for TAFE. That's vocational education, if you want. Like, I'm doing a TAFE course as well, interpreting. So, and there's also opportunities for that if you don't want to study at a university. But yeah, go on. I think someone wanted to ask a question.
So you will get the visa, yeah, student visa, but maybe it's cheaper and you don't need to go to.
Possibly. Yeah.
Also, I think if you study like a TAFE English course there, it's even easier to get the visa with that.
Yeah.
Like if you go to study English.
All right, cool. Yep, like just taking course, like English course, the same, yeah? Okay, but the same visa. Jerry, where is Jerry? Please, Jerry. Jerry C.
G'day, I'm also Australian.
Australia.
Far North Queensland, Port Douglas, checking in. What's going on, guys? So yeah, I've helped international students before. So regarding visa, most of the time for English matters, just an informal test should be all right. But postgraduate visa or whatever visa after, you know, the proper IELTS tests or TOEFL with a minimum base of 6.0 score. But right now, yeah, it's practically impossible to go into the country because it's total lockdown from international border. Even right now, it's a bit hard for Australian that's outside of Australia to come back inside here. So it is that. And for TAFE, it's cheaper than a typical private institution because it's a government school, basically. I've done my bachelor's degree. I've done that for 54,000. Yeah, that's a lot of money for a bachelor's degree. I've done that for hospitality. And then for TAFE, I'm currently doing Cert 4, commercial cookery. That costs me, is it 12K, 13K? Can't remember, but yeah. It's around that case. Oh, thanks for making another, right?
Jerry, like you are Ned's friend?
Oh no. I'm just from the group. I get
Ah.
bored around. Yeah.
Okay.
Essentially, no
Thank you
work
for
here, mate.
coming. We have
All
4
good, mate.
Australians here. Thank you so much.
Oi. Yeah, I'm in
Maybe-
Queensland.
Maybe I'll
so-
contact you after this, yeah?
Yeah, I'll go, mate.
Okay. And you can left your email privately to me. Okay. All right. Next questions, please. Thank you, Jerry, for the answers.
All good, brother.
Okay, maybe this Ramazan want to ask something, please.
Hello everyone. Welcome to this seminar. Okay. So I speak English with Japanese accent. So yeah, I'm going to ask Edmund and Ned, Mahdi and Amar. So before this pandemic, do you have any plan? Did you go outside in the winter break? Like vacation or anything?
Thank you.
Yes.
Maybe like, did you have any plan before, like to Indonesia, but because this pandemic, then you canceled your plan to come to Indonesia, for example?
I don't think anyone had a plan to leave Australia, but I'm sure there were lots of people who were planning on going interstate or something like that, and then they had to cancel their plan because now there's no interstate travel either. For example, if you're, or at least specifically from Victoria to New South Wales or vice versa, there's no travel like that. So we can't. You can't, for example, visit Sydney if you're in Melbourne.
Okay.
And
Right.
all sort of like crowded places, like recreational places, like I don't know.
Oh yeah, I've heard like
carnivals, stuff, whatever, like anything that's crowded is cancelled.
all right. And how about Mehdi? Did you have any plan before?
Yeah, I'll answer the question. But sorry, I just want to clarify something. I think what I said, I replied. I forgot who it was, but to the individual who asked about graduate fees. Sorry, about uni fees. Did I say 4,000 or 40,000?
You say 40,000. Is it
Okay,
per
sorry, I
semester
meant
or per
4,000,
month?
4,000 per not. Sorry, I don't know.
For
I think I
Australian or
meant-
for international students?
No, for Australians, it's like it's around I think it's like 1,000 something per subject, so it comes down to around 10,000 per year.
Per subject.
Yeah. 10,000, but I think the international one was around 40,000 a year.
30,
That's right, yeah.
30,000.
30,000.
30 until 40,000 per year.
30.
Just
Yeah,
for
but,
tuition fee. Yeah, correct.
But it varies.
It's basically like ×4 of what you would pay.
×4.
Yeah.
But it also varies. It depends on your course. So you have to like look up this exact course and the exact fees because it can change. Yeah. Sorry about that. I just needed to clarify that. But yeah, in terms of plans, there was, I think, we had one person. He wanted to organize this group to go to, I think, some islands. Amar, do you remember what they were called?
Well, oh wait, you mean Uluru or?
No, Mahar Kara, how they.
Yeah, Maldives.
Yeah, the Maldives, or Maldives. He wanted to organize a trip, but you have to pay up front, and then he books like flights, and I was like, I really wanted to go with him, like it would be fun, but I was like, not now, you don't know about the current situation, anything can happen, so I didn't. But yeah, I would have liked to go there and whatever places. Yeah.
I mean, now no one's gonna go there.
Yeah, I'm out now. Yeah. We can't go
Well,
anywhere.
yeah, you were
Well,
gonna say
yeah.
something, but then you held yourself.
I'm a police. We're in a public place.
True, you're right.
In a sense, we're like.
And how
we're
about
not in a-
Nat?
No, I didn't really have any plans. I like going to the beach a lot, but at the moment, the borders between metropolitan Melbourne, so the sort of inner city Melbourne, is locked down, so you can't actually go to regional Victoria to say the beach. But yeah, no real plans. I think I might go back to Indonesia at the end of the year if I'm allowed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, but yeah, you need to tell me not just going to Indonesia secretly, yeah, like before.
Yeah.
You went to Indonesia secretly. Okay, next questions. We have Juliana. Oh, Miss Tuti first, please.
Oh, we can't hear
We
you.
cannot hear you.
Yeah, you might be muted.
Can you turn on the microphone? Unmute.
Oh no,
She's
Can-
unmuted, but
She's
I think
unmuted.
it's
The
just
problem is the microphone or earphone.
yeah.
Can you hear
Okay,
me?
now.
Oh yeah.
Can
Yeah.
you hear
Yes.
me? Okay. Nice to meet you, Mr. Madi, Edmund Carmen, and Amar. Mas Andika, kalau misalnya bahasa Inggris saya kurang bagus, nanti dibenerin ya. Because I limited in English gitu. My question for Mahdi, can you explain how the leader in making policy to handling COVID-19 faster or allow to respond that COVID-19, Mr. Mahdi, a leader in Australia? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ibu Tuti. Did you get the questions, Mahdi?
No, I didn't get
Okay.
the question.
I think Nat got the question. Did you get the question? Okay, talking about the leader in Australia, like, do your leader handle these situations pretty well compared to other countries, for example, or it's pretty slow or fast?
I think the leader for Victoria, Dan Andrews, like he's the one who's kind of in charge of giving out like any new rules or regulations that they've decided. Yeah, I think he's handled it fairly well. Like he didn't in like Australia responded once like COVID-19 was out very, I would say, rapidly, like compared to other countries. Like it went to stage 3, and when other countries perhaps were letting it build up, we already had certain lockdowns in place. I think we weren't as harsh as New Zealand. I heard they went to stage 4 straight away. But unfortunately right now, we had another increase in cases. Some people blame him. They say he should have kept it at stage 3, because what he did is he went to stage 3. That means like it's more strict and it's harsher laws, and then he took it down. He said you can go outside, you can visit friends and family, but there's still restrictions in place. So it increased perhaps because of that, I don't know. And now he's back to stage 3. But I think more or less he's been fine and active. I guess so. But people can disagree with him politically. Like I have a couple of friends that, because what he said is on Thursday, like from now on, you're going to get fined if you go out, let's say in public without a mask. Of course, there's certain situations where you don't have to wear a mask, like if you're under 12 and other stuff. But I had some friends say like they're gonna go to the shops, and if the security doesn't let them in, they'll fight with the security or something, or like say they don't have to wear a mask. I don't know. I don't think this is necessary. Like just wear a mask. But yeah, whatever. I think he's all right.
So, all right. Thank you so much. And Nat, do you have like opinion about the political, like government's policy in terms?
No, I think, yeah. So in the Australian media, Daniel Andrews is receiving a lot of anger and blame for the rise in Victoria's cases. I don't really think it was too much his fault. I think he tried to sort of take down the restrictions to open the economy and get jobs going again. But I think it was more society, people not taking the social distancing rules seriously. So I think the political response overall from the Prime Minister and the Premier have been very good in Australia, very quick. And so I think 2 weeks ago, there was a day where there was sort of 2-digit numbers of cases. So sort of, 20, and then it got up to 50. And very quickly, Daniel Andrews imposed stage 3 restrictions again. There wasn't much hesitation. So yeah, he's definitely been fast to act when he needs to.
Cool. And Amar, do you have some insight?
Like all of his policies were theoretically like they made perfect sense if they were like implemented properly by the people they were applied to. So, for example, when we were in stage 3, like the general public followed it pretty well, but the like hotels and hotels of like returning travelers and all of these sort of places, they were pretty lax with the guidelines. So, for example, I have a friend who went to Sydney, like not from Melbourne to Sydney, but came back, and he came back to Sydney, and then he came to Australia. He said when the quarantine in Sydney, it was all like soldiers and stuff. You wouldn't be allowed to leave your room at all. So you were fully quarantined for 14 days. But the quarantine in Melbourne, it was like the security guards would take you out for lunch, or like they'd smoke with you, or like they weren't as professional as they were in other states. And also like after when it went from stage 3 to stage 2, people didn't actually go to stage 2. They just ignored the quarantine completely. So maybe if like everyone implemented stage 2 properly, we wouldn't have had like this like increase in cases. Or the increase in cases could as well be just the increase in testing. So now we know that people have corona. Okay. So there's lots of like I don't see anything like super wrong with his policies.
Okay, but I've heard like Scott Morrison, they went like on vacation when, I don't know, maybe last month, or I've read the news about that, like Scott Morrison, right? Your prime minister. Yeah, he went to like. Is it correct? Or
it was there was a big scandal when Scott Morrison went on holidays in January during the bushfires, and there were massive bushfires across the country, and he went to Hawaii. I think.
Yeah. But for this pandemic,
tropical and definitely not on fire. So he copped a lot of backlash for that. But I think I did read in the news that Scott Morrison had gone on a week's holiday recently, last week or the week before. But that didn't cause as much as much scandal and outrage.
Why it was different compared to the bus fire?
I'm not really too sure. But I think it was because even though he's on holiday, he can still make calls and attend meetings, and especially I suppose right now as a nation wherein everyone's doing meetings online, everyone's working from home, and so I think the public was a lot more okay that he could still do the job that he needed to online and digitally.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, everyone. Now it's 2 p.m. already in Indonesia, and yeah, so it's already 1 hour. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Nat, Mehdi, Amar, for today. And maybe before we close this event, everyone, can you turn on the video and say goodbye or thank you to all speakers? I'm gonna oh, but I mute all of you. So now you can unmute your microphone and say thank you to the speakers and turn on the video too, so everyone can see your face, your beautiful face. Okay, unmute, turn on the video and say thank you to all the speakers, Amar, Mehdi, and Nat. Thank you so much. And
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Thank you.
Nat,
bye-bye.
Mahdi,
Thank you.
Amar. Thank you very
Thank you so
much.
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Hadi,
Thank you.
teman
Thank you so
and
much,
Amar.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you
a
so
nice day,
much.
everyone. Thank you, Nat,
Sampai
Mehdi,
jumpa.
and
And
Amar.
next Hadi,
Assalamualaikum
thank
warahmatullahi
you.
wabarakatuh.